The artist's journey in this world is anything but straightforward, especially at the beginning. There's so many paths you can take, yet no path seems super clear. It can feel messy. There's a lot of options, a lot to consider, a lot of questions. Where do I put my time into? What do I work on? How do I make this my career? Do I apply for an internship? Should I drop this project? What's the best thing I can be doing right now? The answer to these questions can feel out of reach, but something that I've come to recently is that the most important answer is right in front of us, and it always has been. A few weeks ago, I graduated from film school, probably the biggest chapter of my journey so far as an artist, and I learned something really important about myself as an artist that I want to share with you guys. During my time there, I have been through the majority of my work and experiences and lessons as an artist, as a filmmaker, and to be able to do that with so many incredible people alongside me is what made it what it was, and it's also a big part of what I learned there. Everyone who goes to college is already finding themselves as a person, as a human, first time independent off into the world, but we also have to find ourselves as artists. And so we're all young artists in our first chapter of taking this craft seriously, trying to figure this whole film thing out, and making a bunch of films. You make a lot of films in film school. And gradually they become more ambitious over time. You get access to higher end equipment throughout your years. And you do more planning, more pre-production. And so we're learning new skills, we're developing our voices, working on all these sets, and also trying to be practical career-wise, because even though we're in school, we're also thinking about, how am I going to be able to translate this to the real world once I'm out there. And the biggest takeaway that I got from making our work, making our films, was this: lean into yourself. The films that I personally resonated with the most and that stuck out to me were the films where the filmmaker really leaned into who they were, and they leaned into their inspirations, and they leaned into what they liked. You could see who was making their own voice, and you saw that each film was this act of bringing that voice out. And you could see how it would become their trademark. Like, okay, yeah, this is a Stanley film, this is a Michael film, this is a Rachel film. We all gravitated towards this kind of coming together of a creative voice. So I feel like as a young artist, that's the biggest thing you should be concerned about, is finding out who you are and what your artistic voice looks like. And how do you do that? I really feel like you learn a lot about your own voice through the art that you like, and being conscious and aware of why you resonate with that type of art. And you could see it all in film school. We were all using our inspirations, talking about which films we liked and which films were inspiring our work. We talk about our favorite directors and moments in cinema and all of these different inspirations to really hone in on our own unique voice. It's really about seeing the things that trigger your creative spirit and coming closer and wanting to intentionally explore why that is and what that says about you. What is it about that thing that just strikes that cosmic chord within you? And just ask yourself right now, what is your favorite film? What's your favorite book? What's your favorite song? What's your favorite painting? These are all things that your creative spirit loves. And so if your creative spirit is motivating your own unique individual voice, then it's good to be aware of why your creative spirit likes what it likes. I think something that a lot of us can struggle with is not really being sure about what we want to say and what we want our art to stand for. And I really don't think that we have to be concerned with making some kind of huge statement, some kind of complex, profound idea on the world or a specific subject or a specific topic. The thing is that you have your own stories. You have your own feelings and emotions, and that's inevitable. Your soul. You experience, you feel. And this creativity, your creative voice, again, the creative spirit being triggered by all these different things that you love, is a way to transform those stories into your own art. And at the beginning of this journey, I feel like the best place you can be investing your time and your energy into, with all these questions of, what do I do? What do I work on? How do I translate this to that? How do I be practical? I really think where we need to put our hearts is into ourselves and our own voice. We need to bring that voice out. The voice that is in there, that wants to come out. So spend your time understanding your inspirations and leaning into your own unique way of doing things, not the way that things are supposed to go, or the way that this book on screenwriting is telling you to write, or how this YouTube video is telling you how to make music. How do you get to that point where you have this distinct style, a style that just feels natural and effortless? Well, it comes from leaning into yourself, because you are natural, you are effortless. Authenticity at its default is effortless, because it's authentic, right? It's a given, it's a default, it's unfiltered, but we block it and we cascade it. And the artist's journey is about removing those blocks. With all the other practical questions in the artist's journey, right, of whether it's financially or career-wise or this or that, I think actually those answers can be helped by just coming closer to yourself and your own unique artistic voice. Because if I come closer to my own self and my own soul, then other answers naturally come. The other answers for those other questions. The venture that we're all on is really a personal journey of spiritual evolution. And finally, the general rule that I follow within this creative process and within finding your own creative voice is to just simply follow the feeling. Follow the feeling. Ask yourself, does this feel right? If it feels right, you don't need a logical answer. You don't need a calculated answer of making sense of something. If it feels right, that's your creative spirit, because the creative spirit is emotional. The mind has to catch up to the soul. So always trust the feeling. I actually have a video on this if you want to watch it, and you can subscribe for more videos like these. I hope you resonated with this message. You can check out my Patreon for access to the Discord and more content, and subscribe to my newsletter for weekly blogs. Hope you guys got something out of this video. Take care, go work on your projects, dream on. I'll see you very soon. Peace.